Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. So, as Jana said, um, I'm a teacher educator. I have been working with the Ministry of Education and especially the Pedagogical Institute for the past 20 years. Um, so we do a lot of work with teachers offering workshops. So part of this project is to provide an intervention which we have designed in recent months by means of teacher professional learning for using SciCat's in-house developed tools in formal educational activities. And the ultimate goal is to make a small contribution to promoting critical algorithmic skills. And in fact, our first workshop is this coming Saturday, and then we have two more in consecutive weeks. I will be talking a little bit more about the content and the goals of these workshops. But first, let me say why there is a need for teaching educators on matters of algorithmic literacy. As this quote says by Professor David Langs, unless there is an increased effort to make true information literacy a part of basic education, there will be a class of people who can use algorithms and a class used by algorithms. So ultimately, our goal is to gradually introduce ideas of algorithmic literacy and skills to both elementary school teachers and secondary school teachers. And then they can go back in their classrooms and do similar workshops with their students. So the key issues that we want to problematize here, and we have been discussing in the past few months, since the beginning of the project actually, is there are clearly ethical and political concerns about the use of algorithms and the implications of bias in online platforms. So we think that education can play a crucial role in especially through the use of critical theories and critical pedagogies in helping teachers and students understand, gain a deeper understanding of ongoing advances in AI and the implications of algorithms in our daily lives. So critical pedagogical approaches are used to sensitize teachers and students about AI, and teaching and learning communities can develop insights and tactics that can better align AI with ethical principles, taking into consideration vulnerable peoples who continue to bear the brand of negative impacts of technological progress. So there is an important social and political aspect and ethical one in and behind the motivation of designing these workshops so that we sensitize teachers and students to develop a more responsible and more critical approach, if you will, in using online platforms and the implications of using online platforms. So the objectives of these workshops, we hope that participants will be able to identify the widespread application of algorithms in daily life and understand how everyday activities depend on algorithmic processes, demonstrate how algorithmic bias affects choices or decisions, and teach them how to employ strategies to explore how algorithmic manipulation works, elaborate critical arguments for the importance of algorithmic transparency, and connect examples of algorithmic bias to issues of privacy, financial profit, and social equality. So we have designed several activities, and I will give you a flavor in the next slide of kind of to get an idea of how they can actually connect this example of bias to issues of social justice and social equality through the use of online platforms. And finally, to understand how uh, teachers themselves can incorporate in their teaching simple algorithmic knowledge and skills into their classroom. I don't believe necessarily that the ultimate goal is to have a separate course on algorithmic literacy. We believe, just like other social skills, that it's important to integrate them in the school curriculum on an everyday basis. So it's not about having a special class on this, but actually finding ways in the everyday curriculum, whenever there is an opportunity, for teachers and students to problematize the use of algorithms and the implications they have in their lives. So our toolkit includes, for example, activities on how algorithms are used in our daily lives and how and why algorithms create bubbles. So this notion of bubbles is important in understanding how algorithms work. And we have two demos that have been developed by the SciCard project. One on the use of Google and one on Facebook that actually take you step by step through understanding how the the use of algorithms create a filter, the use of online platforms create these filter bubbles, as they have been called, and what can be done to address those. So we have several activities, discussions, and exploration of how these filter bubbles are constructed and what implications they have in terms of our daily lives, how they can affect users. And a final part of our workshops is critical debates on the ethical dilemmas. We are very concerned about the ethical dilemmas in the use of algorithms in terms of privacy, pursuit of profit, discrimination, and how to promote algorithmic transparency in schools. So through, at first, this 3-hour workshop, which we will test, as I said, this coming Saturday, we will see how things are going, and we'll keep you posted. And if you have any suggestions about activities, ideas that we could include in the workshop, please get in touch with us. We'd love to hear your ideas. Thank you very much for your attention.